Hello and welcome. I'm an AI expert specializing in modern hotel operations, and I am so pleased to welcome all students of Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. You know, in the world of elite hospitality, understanding your guest, it's really everything. Today, we're going to dive deep into the art of VIP service, focusing specifically on that cultural intelligence, the thing that separates good service from a truly unforgettable experience. So let's jump right in. Look, whether you're just kicking off your career or you've been in the game for years, mastering VIP interactions is absolutely key to getting ahead in this industry. And this isn't just about ticking boxes or following a script. It's about developing this deep awareness of where your guests are coming from, what their expectations are, so you can make them feel truly seen and valued. All right, so to get there, we're going to break it all down into 6 key areas. First up, we'll talk about why culture matters so much in the first place. Then, we'll get into the practical side of things, like mastering that first impression. We'll cover the art of communication, both what you say and what you don't. After that, we'll explore what true excellence in service really looks like. And finally, we'll pull it all together to see how this defines you as a standout professional. Okay, let's start with the absolute foundation. Here's the most important rule to remember. In global hospitality, there's just no such thing as a one-size-fits-all approach. Your VIP guests, they bring their entire cultural world with them, and that world shapes every single interaction you have. You know, the very definition of good service can flip completely depending on who you're talking to. Take an American executive, for example. For them, efficiency, getting straight to the point, that often signals respect. A quick, friendly check-in? Perfect. But now, picture a Japanese executive. That same speedy approach might feel, well, rushed, maybe even a little dismissive. They're more likely to value a formal, precise, and calm interaction. Understanding this difference, that's the secret sauce. It's what stops miscommunication before it starts and helps you build real trust. So that's the why. But how do you actually put this cultural awareness into practice? Well, it all begins the moment they walk through the door. A powerful first impression is all about 3 things: protocol, presence, and professionalism. And one of the fastest ways to show you get it, or that you don't, is by understanding hierarchy. In so many cultures, especially in places like China, Japan, Korea, and much of the Arab world, you always greet the most senior person first. It's a fundamental sign that you're paying attention, that you're culturally aware. And trust me, it's a detail that will absolutely not go unnoticed. Okay, so what if you're not sure? Here is a totally foolproof 3-step protocol that works for any VIP greeting. First, your posture. Stand tall. It projects confidence and respect. Second, a simple professional welcome. And third, and listen, this is the most critical piece, let the guest initiate any physical contact. This gives him control and helps you sidestep any potential awkwardness around handshakes or other greetings. Something as simple as, "Welcome, we're honored to have you with us today," is just perfect. It's respectful but not stuffy, it's confident but not overly familiar. It just sets the perfect tone right from the get-go. All right, you've made that great first impression. Now, the spotlight shifts to communication. How you address a guest can instantly signal respect or a lack of it, so this is an art that really demands your full attention. In any professional setting, titles matter a lot. Using a guest's correct title, like doctor, professor, or ambassador, is just non-negotiable. It's a huge sign of respect. It shows you've done your homework. And here's the golden rule. Always default to last names until the guest specifically invites you to use their first name. And hey, if you're ever in doubt, this one simple question is your best friend. How would you like to be addressed? It shows you're considerate and that you genuinely want to get it right. And I promise you, guests will appreciate that way more than you taking a wild guess and getting it wrong. Now, beyond just titles, you've got to adapt to different communication styles. Guests from places like the US or Germany, they often communicate very directly. They value clarity and getting straight to the point. On the other hand, guests from Japan or China might be much more indirect. For them, maintaining harmony is often more important than being blunt. So the key for you is to listen, really listen, for what's not being said. You have to learn to read those subtle cues. But, so much of what we communicate has nothing to do with words. So let's talk about the unspoken language of hospitality, those cultural norms around things like time, gifts, and even how a room is set up. Our whole idea of time, for instance, can be totally different across cultures. In a lot of Western cultures, being on time is a huge sign of respect. Schedules are tight, and being late is a big deal. But in many Eastern and Middle Eastern cultures, time can be, well, more fluid. Building a relationship might take priority over sticking to a strict schedule. So if a VIP guest is running late, your job isn't to get flustered. It's to handle it with grace and make sure they're comfortable. Gift giving is in another area that's just packed with cultural landmines. While a thoughtful gift is a beautiful sign of respect in many Asian and Middle Eastern cultures, it can sometimes be seen as inappropriate in some Western business contexts. The absolute safest bet is always a high-quality, culturally neutral item. And please pay attention to the presentation. In many cultures, presenting a gift with two hands is a simple but powerful gesture of respect. Okay, now here is a detail that truly separates the experts from the amateurs: hierarchical seating. This is all about arranging a meeting space to honor a guest's rank. For example, you might seat the most senior guest at the head of the table or in the position facing the door. Knowing these tiny details, wow, it shows an incredible level of preparation and a really deep respect for your guest's culture. So, all this prep work, understanding communication styles, the concept of time, different protocols, it all comes together in how you actually deliver the service. This is where you fuse that cultural knowledge with proactive care and, of course, absolute discretion. Let's be crystal clear about this. With any VIP guest, discretion is the absolute bedrock of trust. Their name, their schedule, their preferences, all of it is completely confidential. Your ability to protect their privacy is what makes them feel safe and lets them relax in your care. It's non-negotiable. When a guest makes a request, this is one of the most powerful things you can say. I will take care of that for you. Simple, right? But it conveys immediate ownership and capability. It tells them, don't worry, it's handled. And here's another great one. Let me just confirm the details so we can meet your expectations perfectly. A phrase like this shows your commitment to precision. It tells the guest you're not just listening, you're dedicated to getting every little detail exactly right. And that builds a huge amount of confidence. All right, let's wrap all this up. True excellence in hospitality, it's not about memorizing a giant rulebook. It's about developing a mindset of cultural intelligence that guides every single thing you do. So what are the hallmarks of a true professional? It's these things: consistently honoring hierarchy and status, adjusting how you communicate on the fly, maintaining that ironclad discretion, and maybe most importantly, anticipating needs before they're even spoken. This is what it all boils down to. This is VIP hospitality. So, I'm going to leave you with a question to take with you into your work. This isn't just about learning rules, it's about becoming a master observer. So, in your very next interaction with a guest, what's that one subtle detail, that quiet little cue that you're going to notice? The one that will let you elevate their experience from just good to truly exceptional. Ultimately, when you blend deep cultural understanding with flawless service, you're doing so much more than just providing a luxury experience. You're creating an environment where every single guest feels seen, respected, and truly, deeply valued. We look forward to supporting your continued professional growth in this amazing industry.